Our setbacks, vulnerabilities, and failures don't define us. They reveal the divine us. And that is the quote of the day. Welcome back to the Quote of the Day show. I'm your host, Sean Croxton of SeanCroxton.com. Happy Monday to you. I hope it was a marvelous weekend. You had all kind of fun. And today we're going to keep that fun going because Mr. Travis Thomas is going to get our week started off the right way. And he's talking about a very important topic. You remember being a little kid? And you had all these dreams, you had all these hopes, you had all these wishes, you had all these things that you wanted to do with your life. You had a reason to wake up in the morning. You know, you weren't hitting the snooze button when you were a little kid. You were just ready to get up and go. But we got older. We became adults and things just changed. We didn't have that reason to wake up in the morning anymore. We're hitting that snooze button. We don't want to go to work. We don't have a passion. We feel like we don't have a purpose. We don't know our purpose. We haven't found our bliss. And Travis is talking about finding that childlike mentality within, finding that purpose and going after that purpose and having a reason to get up in the morning. So I hope you enjoy this one. I will see you on the backside.
So before we get distracted, what we tend to do, we live backwards in society most of the time. We look at people that have done great things and we see the success that comes with it and we say, I want to be like that. I want to be famous, or I want to have the material things that come with success. But what we forget about is it's not about the success. It's not about what they do or what they did. It's about what excited them to get to that point of success. And so with anything that we do, and you guys are the generation, right? And this is all about you. I want you to think about what excites you. Not what's going to make me money, not what's going to make me look cool, not what's going to impress somebody, but what excites you. You wake out of bed in the morning and you're like, oh, I can't wait to do this. Or at some point, I really want to do that. What excites you? Is it hanging with your friends? Is it playing a sport? Is it an instrument? But it's really not that as much as, it's not what you do, it's who you love to be. That's what your purpose is. And Live Yes and, my brand, it's all about helping people find their brilliance, live their brilliance through a commitment to purpose, authenticity, and life-transforming collaboration. That's what inspires me to get out of bed in the morning. That's why I'm here. But you have to start with purpose. You can't just say, I want to be rich, or I want to be successful. You got to start with what excites me, what jazzes me, what would I do for free, and better yet, what would I pay to do? What would I pay someone else to let me do? I would pay people to let me stand on a stage. Now, don't get any bad ideas, schools, right? I need a little cash to make some money, right? I need to put some food on the table for my 3 kids. But I spoke for free yesterday. Why? Because I love it. And what I love is I've gone into 3 schools since I've been in town on Wednesday. I've been in Creek Middle School, Montrose Middle School, and Carmen Ainsworth Middle School. Yeah, what I love. So here's what I love. With every school, and you guys can do it now, and I say, raise your hand if you're courageous. And for this auditorium, raise your hand if you're courageous. Raise your hand if you are a leader. Go ahead and put your hands down. Now, adults, if this was an auditorium full of adults, and I said, raise your hand if you're courageous, or raise your hand if you're a leader, there would be maybe 2 or 3 hands up in the auditorium. So we don't need to figure out how to get you guys excited and to how to light a fire and give you guys purpose. The problem isn't giving purpose to our kids. The problem is allowing you guys to keep your purpose as you get older. Because when you get older, you've had society telling you for so long that you can't do that, or you need to get a real job, or you need to be realistic. Quit being a dreamer. You're not born that way. You're ingrained to think that way. But that's not who you are. If you want to break out of this shell, break out of this cocoon, if you want to be successful in life, you've got to say, what excites me? And I am committed to doing that. I'm not going to outline how I get there. I'm not going to outline what my experience looks like. I'm going to think about what excites me, and I'm going to commit myself to it. I'm going to be passionate about it. One of my favorite improv expressions is leap, and the net will appear. You guys ready? I'm jumping. 1, 2, no. Leap. It's an old Zen proverb. Leap and the net will appear. But here's the thing. It's not an excuse to be irresponsible. When you have a sense of purpose and authenticity, you know who you are. You can leap and the net will appear. Why will the net will appear? Because you know who you are. And when you know who you are, there is no place I can put you and you won't figure out how to get it done. Now, I can't tell you what that's going to look like, and we don't know what that's going to look like, but when you know who you are, when you're on fire, there is nothing you can't do. Leap and the net will appear. You will figure it out. Some of the most difficult times in my life, and I've had a very easy life, I'll be honest with you, compared to probably a lot of you guys. I've had an easy life. But the difficult times for me helped me become who I am today in a positive way. We tend to be afraid of failure and obstacles because we think it will define us. Our setbacks and our vulnerability and our failures don't define us. They reveal the divine us. Because it's only in struggle and obstacles that we find out who we really are. It's not by playing it safe. Gear, the G, growth mindset, is all about looking at the storm and running at the storm because my goal is on the other side of the storm. I heard this great analogy. When a storm is coming, cows wait for the storm to get there, and then they try to outrun the storm. And they're slow, so they get pounded for a long time. You want to be the bull. The bull sees the storm coming, and it starts running directly at the storm. And guess what? It gets through the storm a lot quicker by running at the storm, not running away from it. The biggest fears you have, the things that you are afraid of, they're behind you, just waiting for you to turn around. And you can keep running away from them, or you can turn around and you can embrace them, and you can conquer them and go, yeah, I did that. And it was hard, and I failed. But failing doesn't make you a failure. It makes you a learner. Quitting makes you a failure. Failing is just a part of the learning process. And the more you fail, the faster you learn. I've had to learn that the hard way a lot. But what I've found is at my most vulnerable states in life is when something has cracked open and it reveals a side of me that I didn't know was there. I love to think about the analogy of the caterpillar. Imagine what the caterpillar must feel like as its body starts to fall apart and it starts to weave this tomb called a cocoon. And then what I didn't know about the caterpillar, it goes into its cocoon. Do you know what happens to its body in the cocoon? Its body dissolves into black goo. It dissolves into black goo. It doesn't just grow wings. It dissolves into black goo, and then from the goo, it's rich with nutrients and potential. The goo, that's what they call it. From the goo, the caterpillar transforms completely into a new idea. It transforms into the butterfly. And it breaks out of that shell, and it's a new idea, a powerful idea, an idea that can fly and leave the old behind. What is your goo experiences? What is knocking you down? What is holding you back, and what are you afraid of? Be the bull and run at it. And when you find that thing that excites you, and you start to live it, and people start to be excited for you and with you, and they want to collaborate with you, which is all about living yes and. They want to collaborate with that. That's when you accomplish wonderful things. Your education is not a competition. You are not competing against anyone else in this auditorium or your school or your classroom for education. You're not competing with anyone else for a job. You're not in competition. We need to collaborate with one another to all find our own unique greatness.
All right, that was Travis Thomas getting you fired up on a Monday. His website is liveyesand.com. Again, that's liveyesand.com. And big props to Travis. If you remember, maybe the first week of the show, I asked for fan submissions. And Travis was actually the first one to submit a clip, and the audio quality wasn't great, so it wasn't going to work. Then he sent in some more, and the audio quality just wasn't right. And then he sent in another, and I was like, yes, this is the one. He was mic'd up. He had good audio. So hats off to Travis for being persistent, because that's the way to be successful. So thanks for that. And thanks to you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. If you have a chance to rate and review the show on iTunes, I really appreciate that. And I will see you tomorrow for our Tuesday episode of the Quote of the Day. Peace.